Welcome to the Massage Life podcast. I'm Melissa Pearson, registered massage therapist and founder of the Online Wellness Institute. And I'm here with my husband, Jordan, who is a chartered professional accountant. Each episode, we tackle a specific question and talk about ways that you, as a health and wellness professional, can thrive in your practice. This week, we're talking about how to choose a massage clinic name.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Are you being sarcastic? Oh, dear.
Oh, it's all downhill from here.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first question is, do you actually need a name?
Is this a question for me?
Yes.
Or for our listeners?
For both. We're so organized today.
Nobody listens to us.
Oh, geez. Okay. So,
wait, what was the question again?
Okay, do you actually need a name when you operate as a massage therapist?
Well, I think you need some type of name, whether it be your own name or a trade name, but you should have, like, obviously
you need some sort of name.
Yeah, you can't just have.
So I am a mobile massage therapist. I work just by myself, and I actually chose to not have, like, a real name. So my business is just my name, my first and last name. And the reason I chose to go that route is, first of all, I just was having a hard time deciding on a name. And also, I had a lot of friends that had clinics just in their home or as a mobile massage therapist, and they had a clinic name. And they would post something on Facebook, or I would see posts on Instagram or something, and I'd be like, who is this? Like, whose business is this? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's my friend so-and-so. And so I didn't want people to be confused about who I was, I guess, if that makes sense, right? Like, I wanted them to see my name and know it was me.
Right.
I wanted to associate my brand with me because I am my brand. I'm just by myself.
Yeah, it's just you. You're
It's
the
just
only
me.
therapist
I'm the only
for your
therapist.
business.
And I guess the only problem is if I ever decide to hire someone on, then I would have to come up with a name.
Right. Or you need to find someone who also has the same name. Melissa Pearson.
I met someone who she ended up getting engaged to someone who had the same last name as her. And then she didn't have to change her name when they got married.
Yeah, that should be everyone's strategy.
Right? I was like, wow, that's so smart. She's like, I didn't plan that, obviously. And she's like, we had to check that we weren't related.
I feel bad for all of your friends. If any of your friends listen to this,
oh, no.
they're going to feel bad now because
you
basically said, like, oh, I have no idea who this is.
This is. No, I don't think anyone should feel bad for
kidding.
using a different name. I think, oh man, I wish I had a real business name. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm totally lame for not having a business name. So I think there's pros and cons to both. I mean, one nice thing about if you do just use your own name is you don't have to register a trade name. It just makes things a little bit easier in that regard.
Yeah, a lot of people may be thinking that, okay, I'm now a business owner. I'm operating as a sole proprietor. I work as an independent contractor in a clinic or spa. And so I must need a name, right? I'm a business. I must go out there and register a trade name. But that's not the case. You don't need to do that, right? When you set up on day one, the name of your business as a sole proprietor, the legal name of your business, regardless of whatever trade name you use, will always be your first and last name.
Right. Unless you incorporate.
Unless you incorporate. Yeah. So, like, when I file our tax return at the end of the year and we do your self-employment income, because you're not incorporated, your massage business, you operate as a sole proprietor, the legal name of your business is Melissa Pearson, even if you operated under some other trade name. Like, didn't you have a trade name at one point? Oh, I think you...
No, I never have.
But even if, so if you did, regardless of whatever that trade name is, the legal name of your business, if you're operating as a sole proprietor, will always be your first and last name.
Right.
Always.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, if you do decide to go with another name, can you explain what a Nuance search is? Do you know about that?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Yeah, no, I know what it is, but I forget what it stands for.
What it stands for, yeah.
Yeah, did you write it down?
No,
I have it in
I
my...
didn't.
Oh, great.
Okay, we can Google it.
Okay, we can Google it here.
But yeah, you need to do a search to make sure no one else is using the name, right? Because obviously that's common for... I find so many massage names are very similar, right? That's one thing that I find really tricky about massage names is they're also similar, like tranquility massage, calming massage, revitalize massage. Like, it's hard to come up with a unique name. I find it similar to naming children, right? Like, you want to name your business something unique, just like you want to name your kid something unique, but not weird.
Yeah, not too unique.
Not too unique that people are like, what are you talking about? Like, naming your kid, like, Apple or like
okay.
Banjo or something.
What if one of our listeners has a kid named Apple?
Okay, well,
or Banjo.
Banjo. That's a real. Some celebrity named their kid Banjo. I'm not even lying. It's real.
You're allowed to do that as a celebrity.
I guess so. Right? But you don't want it to be so different that it's strange, but you need it to be unique because you need to set yourself apart. And
Right.
I find it really hard with massage because we tend to use these words like relaxing, massage, calming. You know, like it's
a lot of the same
It's just really
words.
similar.
Yeah.
And so if you do a nuance search, it's hard, right? It's like, oh no, that's been done. Oh, that's been done. It's like really hard to find something unique.
Right.
I find.
So Nuance stands for newly upgraded automated name search. There's no way.
That's funny.
There's no way I would have remembered that.
No, I didn't
And
know
so
that. That's funny.
what it is it's a computerized search service in Canada for comparison of proposed corporate names or trademarks. So when you're going out there and you have a business name in mind, you can do one of these Nuance searches. And I think they cost like $15. You go down to the registry's office, you do a Nuance search, and it'll pull up all of the businesses that exist that are using that same name, like all of the registered trade names that are either exactly the same or similar to what you're trying to register.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's interesting, though, is when you register a trade name, you don't legally own that trade name. Like if all you do is go down and register that name, you don't legally own that name, right? So I could go out today and register the trade name Super Awesome Wellness Massage, right? I'm sure there's no one else in the world who has registered that trade name. But if there is, the other person who has registered that same trade name legally can't come after me for having used that same name. Now, I should have a caveat there because I don't know that that's entirely true because, it's a little bit different if that person has incorporated a business. Mm-hmm. So let's say it's like Super Awesome Wellness Massage Incorporated, mm-hmm. right? Well, now that's the legal name of that business. And so they do have some claim on that name. And it's even more so if they trademark the name. So if they go out and they trademark the name, Super Awesome Wellness Massage, I forget what it is now, right? But if they go out there and they actually trademark that name, then they can come and sue you if you try to register that name or try to operate under a similar name. Now, for most massage therapists, like they're small businesses, right? Like you're not going to be... I don't think like the threat of like the risk of being sued by somebody else who's using that same name is pretty low.
Right.
Right. Now you do have to be careful though, because when you set up shop in Chestermere, you advertised as Chestermere Mobile Massage. Now there's another therapist in Chestermere who's wonderful. We love her. That the name of her corporation is Chestermere Mobile Massage Inc., I think, mm-hmm. right? And so she operates under that name. And so...
Mm-hmm. I wasn't advertising my business as that name. I just kind of used that to
as like
explain what I was doing.
Yeah, as like a tagline, right?
Like,
and so... But it kind of raised an interesting... So you took that tagline down because it can be confusing for clients, right?
Yeah.
If they're like, okay, who is Chestermere Mobile Massage?
Yeah.
Is that Melissa or is that this other person?
Yeah.
And so... what I recommend, like you don't need to necessarily do a Nuance report. It's not it's not a requirement to register a trade name. It is if you're going to set up a corporation. Mm-hmm. But what you should do, like if, say for example, if you're operating in the city of Calgary, right? Just do a Google search for all of the, massage businesses in Calgary to see if there's somebody who's using the same name. Right? Because out of respect for that person and also to avoid any confusion.
Yeah, or like you're losing business because they're all accidentally going to the
right,
other place.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if that person's already established themselves and they have a reputation, right? Like you're just better off picking a name that hasn't been used before.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if they're like in the States or something? What if someone in Arizona is using the same name? Do you think that's a problem or that's less of a worry to be confused?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I think less so. Like somebody, so if I'm operating under the same name as some therapist down in Arizona, like that person in Arizona could try and sue me, but like I feel like the case would be thrown out because there's no like the standard that lawyers typically use is like is it reasonable for a person to assume that this business Like a person can confuse this business for yours, right? And it's like that would never happen because you operate in Arizona and I'm operating in Alberta. Like the chances of that happening are so low. Like no reasonable person would confuse those two businesses.
Right.
Or think that those two businesses are the same.
Right. That's how like there can be Dove soap and Dove chocolate. Like they
Right.
both have the name Dove, but it's like you're probably not going to get confused between the soap and the chocolate. If you do, like, you got some other problems going on.
Right.
But yeah, because there's other businesses that have very similar names.
Yeah.
But it's about the confusing them.
And I feel like, I mean, we're sitting in our closet just talking about.
Don't let them know we're recording in our closet.
That's the best place
It has
to
the best
record for
acoustics.
sound. But I feel like we should be clear that you should probably consult a professional.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like, yes, I'm a CPA. I do have a lot of experience with stuff like this, but I mean, I don't want to. You don't take this as legal advice.
Yes.
Right?
We should have a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what else did I want to chat about? Oh, one thing that's interesting when you're naming a massage business is you do want to include if you don't include the word massage in your business name, it can be difficult for people to know what you do. And for example, here's an example. If you use the name Zone of Zen, right? It doesn't have the word massage in it. So it might just be tricky with search engine optimization. Like if you Google massage Calgary or whatever, you might not come up in that search. And so I have a friend who named her clinic something that doesn't include the word massage. And so she just had to do some really good SEO work with her website so that it would come up when people searched massage in Calgary.
Right.
So you don't have to include the word massage, but it might make things a little bit easier and just make it clear on what you do, right? What you offer.
Well, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how we came up with the name Online Wellness Institute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So originally we wanted to name our business something different.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was Nova. But I couldn't remember what else was it just Nova?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was like Nova Institute. Maybe it was Nova Institute.
Yeah, I
The
think
Nova
that's what
Institute.
it was.
And we liked the name Nova because it was kind of just short and cool sounding.
It's
and
stupid.
But it didn't explain what we
Right.
do.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think like one of my best tips is to pick a name that resonates with you and what you offer.
Right.
Right. And so even though that name Nova sounded kind of like flashy and new, it's like people aren't going to know what we do. And so that's why we changed our name decided on the name, the Online Wellness Institute, because it's like just spells it out.
Right.
What we do. It's a little bit more clear to people.
Our business objective was to create online courses that would live online for wellness practitioners, and we're a school, so institute, like Online Wellness Institute.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's very clear. I think anybody can look at that and they're like, okay, if I had to guess, this is probably a school that lives online that is catered to wellness professionals.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Not just Nova. It's like that could literally be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think just making it clear in your name what you do.
Yeah, using the word massage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I did find a few tips about naming your massage business. This is from brandongale.com. So one tip is to not use more than 3 words in your name. So it just gets too lengthy and it's hard for people to remember, like, what was yours?
So super awesome wellness
Super awesome.
massage.
Well, you remembered it pretty
Chestermere?
good. Yeah. So not too long. Do make it easy to pronounce. That's a big one. Sometimes it looks good on paper or something, and you try to say it, and you're like, okay, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
This is a tip that I would debate with this next one. It says, don't limit yourself to a local city name. So, Chestermere Massage. Now, I take issue with that. It depends, I think. I think it can be done. I think what maybe is trickier is naming yourself after a community. So, for example, I know in Calgary there's an art store, and it was called Inglewood Art Supplies or something, but then they moved to Bridgeland, but then they kept their name Inglewood Art Supplies.
Oh,
And it was really confusing. I was like, wait, is this store in Inglewood? And then people would like drive to Inglewood. They're like, oh no, it's in Bridgeland. Like, it got confusing, but they didn't want to change their business name.
Right.
And so maybe naming yourself after your community is harder if you move.
Well, I think you have to ask yourself, where do I want to take this business? Right? If you're operating in Chestermere, as you are, right, and your objective long term is to like always operate in Chestermere, then it might be okay for you to use Chestermere in the name. But I mean, who knows? Like you never know what you're going to do in 10, 15 years. You may want to expand and open a spa and like, I don't know, do all these different things. Who knows, right? So I think it's not bad advice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can always rebrand. Like that is
Yes.
a lot of work, but it's
Right.
not the end of the world
Right.
if you decide to change your name.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Like Facebook to Meta,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't know how
Whatever
that's
that
going for
is.
them. Another tip is to choose words that are easy to spell. You don't want people to be Googling your name and can't find you because some weird made up word or something. Another idea is to poll your friends on Facebook or something with your top 3 choices. See what
Right.
people like. Because what you like might not be what other people like. And you don't want to turn people away being like, oh, that's weird or doesn't make
Right.
sense.
I feel like I'm just going to ignore what my friends say either way.
Okay, you do that. Yeah, the other tip was to conduct a search, which we'd already chatted about.
Right.
And
Especially a trademark search. So one of the things, we should talk more about that. So there is a trademark database that you can access through the Government of Canada. And at the very least, you should look, you should search that database, because if somebody has registered that trademark, then you can you could run into some serious legal issues if you started to build a business under that name. Right? Like, think about it. Let's use an extreme example, like Tim Hortons. Obviously, that's been trademarked, right? If I went out today and tried to operate under the name Tim Hortons, like, there would be some serious legal repercussions if I tried to do that.
Right.
Now, I think very few massage therapists actually go through the complicated process and the expensive process of registering a trademark. And so you probably won't run into any issues, but it is something that you should consider doing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and one last tip was to try to get the .com domain name. So say you think of a great name, you should check to make sure that the
Or .ca.
Yeah,
Come on, we're in Canada.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
I'm just saying. Yeah, make sure that you can get the website for it, because that's an important piece as well.
Right.
Yeah. So those are some good little tips. And one other thing you can do if you're really stuck on naming your business is there's services that offer like branding and naming. There's one website called Frozen Lemons, and you can pay about $70. They have different price plans, but there's like $70, and they'll email you a list of you tell them what your business is and what what you do.
And they send you a bag of frozen lemons?
Yes. No, they send you name ideas, and they're written by professionals, not just like some.
I feel like I could start that business.
You think
Come
you
on.
could?
Super awesome wellness massage.
Oh yeah, you're pro here. Actually, I did want to play a little game with you.
Okay.
Yeah. My little game idea is I'm going to tell you some massage business names, and I want you to either we can do thumbs up, thumbs down, or you can rate them 1 to 10.
Are these real business names? I don't want to offend anyone.
They're not already made.
Did you do a Nuance search?
I did not Nuance search them, but they're from a list of name ideas.
Okay,
You
go.
don't, you don't like this idea?
No, it's fine.
Oh no, I lost my list.
Oh, that's
okay.
good.
Okay, wait. I found it again. Okay, what are you gonna do? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or 1 to 10?
I don't know. Just say, and then I'll see.
Okay, massage o'clock.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay.
That's terrible. That can't be a real name.
These are ideas that someone wrote.
Oh, what? That's number 8 on the list?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, they categorize them. This is the unique ideas.
Oh,
list.
okay.
Yeah.
Massage o'clock.
Yeah. So bad.
But that's
Okay.
a hard one to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say. And what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Okay. What about wildflower massage?
It's not terrible, but I don't know.
Not your favorite?
No.
Okay. What about gratitude massage therapy?
I don't know, it's too hippie for me, but maybe that's good.
Oh, wow. Some of these are really funny. What about moonwalk massage?
I could get down with that.
You really? Okay.
Moonwalk massage. I'm joking.
Okay.
These are all
What about
terrible.
breath of life massage?
Oh.
That's not bad.
Breath of life? Well, barf.
You hate it?
That's just, it sounds too religious.
Okay, what about, oh wow, these are just very interesting. Okay, what about the power of touch massage therapy? Oh, that broke the 3-word rule.
Yeah, it's too
Okay,
long.
it broke its rule here. What about tranquility massage?
That sounds, I feel like there's probably 1,000.
Yeah, I feel like that's been done. What about full moon massage?
That sounds bad.
What about
Full moon massage? Like, okay, just lay down on the table. Like, why are there no sheets? Oh, we do full moon massage here at Full Moon Massage.
Yeah, actually, all joking aside, you do have to be careful with naming a massage business to not
Right.
create misunderstanding, right?
Right.
Which is unfortunate.
To send the wrong message.
To send the wrong message.
Right.
It's an unfortunate reality.
Yeah, I
that
feel like
massage
Full
can
Moon
be-
Massage could send the wrong message.
It could. Yeah, and so I think you do have to be really careful, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
These are hilarious. Somewhere over the rainbow massage.
Somewhere over the moon massage.
Oh no, no.
A subsidiary of Full Moon Massage.
Okay, enough with the sun and the moon. How about some of these that sound
Tender Time Massage?
yeah, some of
Wow.
these sound bad.
Tender Time.
What about rainy day massage therapy? These are so cute. They're funny.
So I have insulted all of these names. So
Yeah,
if any of you
hopefully-
operate under any one of these
Yeah, but
names,
okay,
and you
I
may
doubt
want to
it.
consider changing your name, but please don't come after me.
Send in your names now for Jordan to make fun of them.
Yeah.
Free to be massage. These are hilarious.
Okay. I think we're going long. Should we
Yeah.
end it there?
Yes.
What's our final takeaway from this?
I don't know.
I feel like we've given some great advice.
Yeah. I think my top advice is to... Actually, I have a good tip. Can I keep talking or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So my one tip, actually a short story, is as a child, so I was about 11, my siblings and I, we would play Fake Money, this little game. We were like nerdy homeschoolers. we would each have a little shop. And my little shop was a massage and essential oil shop.
Okay.
So I knew from a very young age I wanted to be a massage therapist. And I had to name my little business. And so the name I came up with was Spirited Earth, which is kind of, it's kind of
gross.
cheesy, but I kind of like it. I kind of still dig it. I would use it. And so I guess my advice is maybe like even ask your family members for ideas. Maybe your kids have good ideas.
Yeah, ask your 11-year-old daughter.
No, I tried asking our kids if they had any good business idea names, and I think it was Abby. She said Cupcake Massage.
Oh, Cupcake Massage. I could get behind that.
She was like, yeah, you could give away a cupcake
Yes,
at every massage.
that's great. Great idea. Yeah, let's trademark that.
Let's
Cupcake
dib it
Massage.
right now. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. All right. Love you.
See ya.